Aloha from Tesla Gaijin. Just wanted to show off my daughter's Aloha mask that she makes for me, and also wanted to kind of see how it looks on a blue screen. So I'm going to tell you today about our trip to Tateyama. We actually went to the place called the Tateyama Family Park. It's a flower park that is on the other side of Tokyo Bay from here. So charged up the Tesla, got it up to 100%, then preheated the seats and turned on the interior climate before we even went downstairs. So we were able to climb into the car that's all ready to go. The travel time was, I was able to Google on my iPhone and then just send that travel itinerary to the Tesla. And TeslaJun was able to bring it up right away, and we were on our way. The travel time was estimated an hour and 55 minutes, and it was almost exactly that. We went, it was a beautiful day for a drive, really clear skies, a slight haze, but really nice, very little traffic. And we got to this family park, and the first thing we see at the entrance is the sand art, which is just a mound of sand that has been carved into some kind of art. In this case, they have the 12 signs of the zodiac and then some other stuff, and I'll show a few. Then we went in there and crossed the bridge and went over to a little island that's surrounded by a pond, and had a nice bento lunch with TeslaJun. It was an excellent time outside. Very few people there, except for a few folks walking their dogs. Apparently they have a yearly ticket where people in the area just bring their dogs and walk around, and it was very, very nice. So all of these regulars were just here and there, but for the most part, it was nice. Now it is December, so a little bit cool, but we did get to go to see the hothouse flowers at what they're calling the Trofru Garden, which means tropical fruit garden, and they had dragon fruit there, lots of dragon fruit, and a couple other things, and that was fun to walk around. The other thing that we'd hoped to see was the poppy fields, but the poppy fields were pretty sparse. In fact, they were just a few. They also had a putter golf course, but neither of us are really golfers, and there were only 3 or 4 families walking around, so it was kind of fun to watch them golf very poorly. So after walking around the park and looking around and seeing the sights, it was very invigorating, really great air quality. And so we went then across the road that the garden is on. It's called Route 257, but it's also called the Boso flower line. This is from the Boso Peninsula or Chiba Peninsula, and that whole area is just full of flower gardens and flower farms. So, but then there's a huge, because it's at the southernmost tip, it gets a lot of weather. So there's a very wide weather break that is planted with little pine trees, short pine trees, scrub pine, that is made to break the wind and keep the sand erosion down. Then there's another mound that we have to go over, and that is apparently some kind of seawall, interior seawall that is to hopefully save the peninsula from tidal waves. Of course, Chiba has been hit hard by tidal waves for, ever. Anyway, this bay that we went to, this long bay, and I'm going to show a quick clip of that, is called the Heisauda, which means wide sand beach. So it was very nice. We saw on the way there, we saw a little scooter and with a surf rack, and it was just all there all by itself. And we went over the mound, and then we saw the single surfer guy who was doing his sup surfing, and he looked like he was having fun. Other than that, I think we maybe only saw one other person on the whole beach. But it was very relaxing. We got to see some birds flying around and hear the waves crashing. It was a little bit of surf out there, so we got to just listen to the waves and walk a bit and had a really good time. So we walked back to TeslaJun, and then we fueled up with some 7-Eleven cafe latte. And in fact, and then I had brought along a gluten-free Madeleine. So a little coffee and the Madeleine really topped off our lunch and got us fueled up to go home, and then saw another 7-Eleven and got another cup. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, right here I'm going to show a little clip that shows you what it's like, just a few seconds of what's auto drive in a Tesla is. Now, I want you to please ignore the discrepancy that's between the speed limit posted and the speedometer of the car. Must have been some kind of glitch. So the car is driving itself, but I have to keep my hand on the wheel. So that's right now on autonomous driving, auto steer and auto lane, and self-driving. Very nice. Apply slight turning pressure. So hope you enjoyed that. That's just a few seconds. I hope this shows how relaxed we can be. So we went home on the same route. We went up the peninsula and then over again on the Aqualine Road. So this is Junko's first time, TeslaJun's first time to go on the Aqualine Road after all these years. So we decided to stop on the Umi Hotaru rest area, which is right about in the middle of Tokyo Bay. And it's where the bridge from Chiba goes down into a tunnel that goes underneath Tokyo Bay to Kawasaki. So it's about half and half as far as I know. And this big parking area is made to look like a cruise liner. The Umi Hotaru is, of course, because people have to get off at the rest stop and then get back on their journey, there's a very complicated clover leaf built up around this. It's kind of fun. If you ever get a chance to Google it, you can see the Umi Hotaru and see how complicated a structure is. And pretty large structure. But it's really almost like a tourist trap. It's got rest facilities and of course, because it's a tourist trap, it has to have restaurants, it has to have gift shops, it has to have a gaming center. It's got dog walks, it's got 4 levels, and of course, most importantly, it's got bathrooms. So with that, we stopped there and looked around a little bit, took a few pictures, and made our way home. So it was a day trip. We didn't have to supercharge or anything. It was about 250 kilometers round trip. So we got home in Yokohama in time to do a few errands, and then we got home and we still had plenty of electricity left, another 100 plus kilometers. So it was no charge anxiety this time at all. Also, the other thing is, because it was a nice smooth trip, there's an efficiency meter on the app I use, and it shows that we were running at 113% efficiency, which simply means the car was doing a very good job of using the battery. And that 113% is probably just compared to my previous driving history as well. But altogether, I'm very pleased. We are able to have a good time, so we now know that even though the charge says this much, if it's a smooth ride, we can actually go 13% more than we expected. So anyway, it was a really good time. Tesla Gaijin signing off. And you know, because I'm wearing this Aloha and I'm wondering how this will react with the blue screen, I just can't help but see what this looks like. So, Tesla Gaijin signing off. Sayonara.